Come on. Come on, baby. Oh, baby. Woo! Come on!
What's up, guys? The fire was lit on Friday. I'm telling you, I felt absolutely amazing. I'm starting to feel like my old self again. Strength is coming back. Things are finally starting to progress in the right way, and I'm able to push myself a little bit more. You know, I've been a little bit cautious with my back, just making sure that I didn't jump into things way too fast and end up hurting myself. So I've been coming along slowly, doing a lot of auto regulation and just kind of keeping things towards a 7 RPE each week and just kind of jumping up in weight based on how I feel. So this week is actually going to be a taper week. So last week we kind of ended the week with a little bit of extra pushing that I wouldn't normally do, that I haven't been doing, and you know, it went really well. So on squats, you know, I wanted to work up to about a 9 RPE on my last set, and it was probably closer to like an 8, maybe 8.5. But anyway, you know, I worked up to 380 pounds, still remaining beltless. You know, it was a little bit sore. My rib is fine. My QL is feeling pretty good just normally, but when I cinched the belt a little bit tighter, it put a little pressure on it and it still hurt a little bit, so I wanted to be a little bit cautious. So I continued to go beltless, and through my taper I'll go beltless as well, and just kind of go from there, and we'll see how things go. I ended up putting the belt on for the deadlift, but I'll get to that in a moment here. But yeah, squats are starting to feel better. You know, it's just been lagging behind the rest of my movements. It just hasn't felt as good. You know, between not being able to brace fully with the Valsalva like before and switching to high bar and coming back from a back injury and everything, it isn't progressing quite as well as I'd like, but at the same time, I'm making progress and we're coming back here. And that's just kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about, was just kind of appreciating progress. I mean, you'll see at the end of some of these sets, like, I get a little bit fired up and I get pretty pumped, and it's like, in the past, I would be so focused on just not being happy that I'm not back to where I was, being focused on how far I have to go to get back to where I was, and things like that. And like, that's just a dangerous trap. You know, that's not really somewhere you want to go, because you just get caught up feeling miserable, feeling like you're not as good as you were, and just not appreciating things, and just, you know, focusing on what you can control. Like, I can't do anything about all the things that have happened to me over the last year that have set me back. All I can do is focus on making progress from where I'm at right now. So I just have to focus on that and appreciate progress as it comes. Like, obviously I want to get stronger, I want to get better, and I would love to kind of get back to a level where I was, but that's not going to happen overnight. You know, I have to concentrate on what I can do right now. So that's why it's just so much more enjoyable if you can let go and just be happy with the progress you make, and just accept your current reality and make progress from there. So that's my little tip for you. Anyway, I went on to bench after that, and bench is finally feeling so much better. You know, I've talked about it on my Instagram. I'm not sure if I talked about it on YouTube or not, but you know, I got really lazy with my arch, and I didn't really realize it until recently. I was benching last week with my buddy Reggie, and I was warming up, and he was like, dude, are you not arching because your back hurts, or what's the deal here? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So went back to, you know, look at the footage and everything, and I just was getting really sloppy with my arch. So I've tightened things up. I've got a much better arch going, and it just like instantly made the movement feel so much better. So I ended up taking 278 for sets of 4, and it was just butter. Like, it felt so good, and that's probably actually a PR for me. You know, I don't really keep track of PRs outside of 1 rep maxes, but I know that's definitely got to be getting close anyway. So bench is feeling very strong again, and I'm obviously happy about that, and I'm just really looking forward to where things are going to go from there, because it was a little bit demotivating for things to be not feeling good for like a good month, but it was my own fault. You know, I got to pay attention to stuff like that, and anyway, I'm going to move forward from there. And then deadlift, I cannot even begin to explain how pumped I am about deadlift right now. I just can't, like, I can't even like explain like what is happening with my deadlift. It's just insane. My coach was like, your deadlift is like some kind of a paradox. Like, basically, the less I deadlift, the more I deadlift, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't do much deadlifting, and it seems like the less actual work I do, the stronger I get. And I contribute part of it to perhaps I was doing too much volume on deadlift before, but also I really strongly believe that all this extra glute work that I've been doing is really paying dividends with my deadlift. You know, it looks a little funny. You know, I do a lot of stuff like hip thrusts and and cable pull-throughs and all these bikini moves, but I'll tell you what, like, my deadlift is blowing up, and I've only been back for, like, what, a month and a half now or something like that, and I just hit on Friday 445 for an AMRAP of 6, and probably had one in the tank if I really wanted to grind, which I didn't. So, I mean, that's probably, again, approaching PR territory. I mean, if you do the math, that's roughly a 520-pound deadlift, which my best ever deadlift in the gym was 515, and it's unbelievable. Like, I just really think there's a big correlation between all the different glute work I've been doing and how my deadlift has been going. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not super concerned about why. I'm just happy that it's progressing very well. It was interesting because, you know, like I said, I've been auto-regulating, so coming into this workout, we just kind of figured, well, with the taper coming up, we're going to start doing more actual calculations based off percentages for my deadlift now. But we didn't have a very good understanding of where my deadlift was, just because I've been working so sub-maximally and haven't really pushed at all. So we figured, all right, well, let's take the last set, work up to more like a 9 RPE, and if it still feels like it's good, maybe just kind of throw in a conservative AMRAP there and see. So I actually did sets at 430, and they didn't feel that great, but I knew I had a couple reps left in me, so I just went up to 445, figured that would probably be roughly a 9 RPE, and I'd call it a day. Well, I did the first 3 reps, and it was just butter. It was cake. So I just was like, all right, let's just keep going, and I ended up pulling 6. You know, part of it was my positioning was just so much better in that last set. Like, the previous sets, you know, I was over dipping my hips, and I just wasn't in good position, and I got that fixed for that last set, and obviously I was a little bit pumped up and stuff too. But anyway, really excited about that, hoping to continue going. I think the days of my squat and deadlift being about the same are well behind me now, because my deadlift is like probably 100 pounds higher than my squat right now, but we shall see. We'll just do what we can and keep progressing, but I'm excited. It feels good to finally feel good again. It's been a long time, and it's got me fired up and just ready to keep making progress. So that's all I got today. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and I will see you in the next video.
I'm addicted to the love that you're giving. Every minute, every day I've been craving.